Namaskar. This is Ansh Khurana and you are listening to Travel World Online news highlights of the day. SriLankan Airlines boosts fleet with addition of Airbus A320 aircraft. Air India receives country's first Airbus A350 aircraft sporting new brand livery. Submerged city of Dwarka, associated with Lord Krishna, to be accessible for viewing. Kerala to tap beach tourism potential fully. Management plans soon for ecotourism, sensitive habitats in Goa. Measure to promote tourism sector, IKEA discussed at high-level meeting Gurugram Baani Square. Now, news in detail.
The Gujarat government has made extensive preparations concerning Lord Sri Krishna submerged city of Dwarka. Through a submarine, the tourism department of the Gujarat government will facilitate tours of the city of Dwarka. The submarine will take people 300 feet below the Arabian Sea to show the remnants of the city of Dwarka. Gujarat government has inked an agreement with the company for this 2-hour sightseeing journey, aiming to elevate tourism in Gujarat alongside Dwarka. Presently, tourists visiting Dwarka primarily visit the Jagat Mandir for darshan of Dwarkadhish and witness flag hosting ceremonies at the temple. According to officials from the government's tourism department, the submerged city of Dwarka, associated with Lord Krishna, will now be accessible for viewing. A submarine project is set to commence for this purpose. Through this submarine, people will travel from the present Dwarka to the ancient Dwarka within 2 hours. The submarine will accommodate 24 tourists along with 6 crew members. As the submarine reaches a depth of 300 feet, individuals will have the opportunity to witness Dwarka with their own eyes. Officials from the tourism department indicate that the Indian government has struck an agreement with the Mazago Dock Shipyard Company for the operation of the submarine. This announcement will be made during the Vibrant Summit. The Vibrant Gujarat Global Summit is scheduled to take place at Mahatma Mandir in Gandhinagar between 10th January and 12th.
Air India recently welcomed the first of 20 Airbus A350-900 aircraft, registered VTJ, in the airline's bold new livery, marking a turning point in its ongoing transformation story. The aircraft arrived at New Delhi at 13:46 hours local time on December 23 from the Airbus facility in Toulouse, France. The delivery flight, operated using a special call sign Air 350, was welcomed by Air India representative. Air India's senior commander Captain Monica Batra, who is among the first few Indian pilots to be trained on A350, was on board as an observer. Air India leads the way in catalyzing the renaissance of Indian aviation, inducting the first new wide-body fleet type in India in more than a decade, and thus becoming the first Indian airline to fly the A350. Air India was also the first Indian airline to have inducted the Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleet type in 2012. Campbell Wilson, Chief Executive Officer and Managing Director, Air India, said, "This moment marks a red-letter day for all of us at Air India. The A350 is not just metal and engines. It's the flying embodiment of the relentless efforts of all Air India employees towards our airline's continuing transformation and of our commitment to setting new benchmarks. It is also, in many ways, a declaration of Indian aviation's resurgence on the world stage. As a symbol of the new age of flying, the A350 promises a world-class, long-haul travel experience on our non-stop route, providing an unparalleled level of comfort. Its excellent flight economics and state-of-the-art technology underscore our dedication to commercially successful operations and to achieving our sustainability goals," Wilson added. Air India's A350 will enter commercial service in January 2024, initially operating domestically for crew familiarization, followed by longer-haul flying to destinations across continent. The schedule of commercial operations with the A350 will be announced in the coming week.
Kerala is set to utilize the tourism potential of its 580 kilometers coastline dotted by some of the finest seaside getaways that includes Asia's longest drive-in beach in Mujappilangar. Tourism Minister P.A. Mohammad Riaz said the state needed to realize the potential of beach tourism sufficiently. The government intends to move forward by linking tourist places along its vast seacoast spread across 9 of its 14 districts. Inaugurating the first floating bridge in the district at Papnasham Beach, the 7th in the state, the minister said they will add to the tourist attractions in these coastal districts. There is a huge potential for beach tourism in Kerala, and it will be utilized effectively, he said. Kerala's coastline is ideal for water sports. But there are a few projects now. If effectively utilized, it will immensely contribute to the state's revenues. He said many investors had come forward at the first tourism investors meet held in the state capital last month, expressing their interest in investing in beach tourism. Including these proposals, the minister said, the government intends to implement more beach tourism projects in public-private partnerships. A master plan has been formulated to comprehensively develop Varkala as a major entertainment and pilgrimage center in the state to be implemented in 2024. New projects like the floating bridge in Varkala, which currently has many water sports activities, will attract more tourists here, Riaz said. The floating bridge has been set up by the Department of Tourism in association with the District Tourism Promotion Council, Kerala Adventure Tourism Promotion Society, and the Municipality of Varkala.
SriLankan Airlines has added a newly leased Airbus A320 aircraft bearing the serial number 4R adds to the fleet, bumping up its total aircraft count to 22. Leased for 6 years, the aircraft arrived from Malaysia to Colombo and will be put into service immediately after customization and branding. Its inaugural scheduled flight is currently expected to take place on 29 December 2023 to the Maldives. The aircraft is notably equipped with sharklet wingtips that reduce drag and increase fuel efficiency. It will be primarily deployed on the airline's short and medium-haul routes covering the Indian subcontinent, the Far East, and the Middle East. With a configuration of 12 business class seats and 138 economy class seats, 4R ABS will allow SriLankan to increase its seat capacity on these routes. SriLankan Airlines now has 12 narrow-bodied aircraft and 10 wide-bodied aircraft in its fleet. The year has been challenging for SriLankan and the whole industry with shortages of available aircraft and engines, and supply chain issues extending maintenance times. This has led to a reduction in flight. However, this aircraft is the first of a number of aircraft and engines that will boost the fleet in the coming week. By the start of January 2024, SriLankan expects another 3 aircraft to be flying with the addition of a wet-leased A330 and the arrival of 2 more engines. The airline will also be taking another sister aircraft to 4R ABS that is scheduled to arrive in March 2024.
Itanagar Capital Region, ICR, Deputy Commissioner Talopoto has urged all stakeholders of the tourism sector to work in coordination with one another, and directed the District Tourism Office to work in liaison with the tour operators to prepare a detailed plan on the tourism sector. The DC was speaking during a coordination meeting among tourism stakeholders and the Arunachal Tourism Society that took place in Itanagar recently. The participants discussed development of tourism in the ICR and measures to improve the existing tourist spots. They stressed the need to develop the existing tourist places in the capital, identify new tourist locations, and promote adventure tourism and events like cultural exchange programs and use of social media as a tool to promote tourism. They also suggested measures to develop the various aspects of tourism, as the state has huge potential in the tourism sector, reported the Arunachal Times.
The state government of Goa has decided to prepare management plans for eco-sensitive areas, ESRs, eco-tourism and tourism, as well as island. The Goa government has asked the National Centre for Earth Science Studies to submit a detailed proposal along with the cost of preparing the management plans. A senior officer said that in the Coastal Regulation Zone, CRZ, notification of 2019, CRZI constitutes the ESRs and their geomorphological features play a role in maintaining the integrity of the coast. These features include mangroves, corals and coral reefs, sand dunes, biologically active mudflats, national and marine parks, sanctuaries. reserve forests, and wildlife habitat. Other protected areas are covered by the Wildlife Protection Act, the Forest Conservation Act, and the Environment Protection Act, as per a story published in media. In the case of a mangrove, if its expanse is more than 1000 square meters, a buffer of 50 meters shall be provided, and such an area shall also constitute the CRZI. The CRZ 2019 also mentions salt marshes, turtle nesting grounds, horseshoe crab habitats, seagrass beds, nesting grounds of birds, areas or structures of archaeological importance, and heritage sites. That's all in this bulletin. For latest news update from the world of travel, tourism and hospitality, keep listening Travel World Online.